What's up, everybody? This your boy DJ, aka DJ the Kid, and we are back and blessed with another episode of the Movement Mic, where the rhythm meets the real talk. I have a very special guest, actually co-hosting with me today. I got Miss Chloe Abel for my first episode. Thank you so much for co-hosting with me today.
Thank you, DJ.
Indeed. This isn't just another dance podcast. It's the go-to podcast where dancers are heard, empowered, and inspired. We keep it real, we keep it raw, and we keep it right on tempo, talking about the things that matter in our industry. Career moves, the culture, and just the fight for a better future. So whether you in the studio or on stage or just vibing out, this is your mic, your movement. But before we dive in, dance family, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Movement Mic. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Movement Mic. We got plenty more coming. This is only the beginning. This is your mic, your movement. Let's go. So, Miss Chloe, we got a very special episode today. A very special episode that I think will be very informational and
important.
Yes, very important to the dance community.
Absolutely. It's what we have a hard time, well, in the whole world, we have a hard time talking about
Indeed. And what we do have a hard time talking about is the mental side of being a professional dancer.
Absolutely.
I feel like we come up in this business and we go through so much and we take on so much, and there's so much dedication and so much hours put into this craft. And I feel like sometimes like the mental part of life may slip because you're so dedicated or you're so well into your craft. Like, would you agree?
Absolutely. The pressure, the perfectionism,
Indeed.
everything that comes along. Body image.
Indeed.
I mean, the pressure of surviving.
Indeed.
Just financially.
Money. I was just about to say money. Yes.
That's
I just
stressful.
did an episode with Raylea Gaucher. I always butcher her name, but shout out to Raylea Gaucher. I just did a show with her about some of the financial realities. But I don't want to stray away from what we're talking about today. So today I got two very special guests in the building. I have my good friend Martez McKinzy.
Yes, that's me.
And I have an actual mental health therapist who specializes with working with dancers, Miss Natasha Trujillo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, I think this is a very important episode. I think this will be very informational for dancers. Thank you so much, Natasha, for coming. This is quite an honor. And before we get into it, I would like to just give the dance family a rundown of your resume.
Mm-hmm.
Martez, can you talk a little bit about your career and what you have done?
Yeah, so where do you
start? I started classic Cleo intro.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Like, where'd you train at?
So I was in Cleo's company for from 2014 to 2020, I think, or 2021. I started in the second company and then moved to apprenticeship and then was in the first company for the remainder of the seasons. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Natasha, can you talk a little bit about what it is that you do?
Yes. So I am a counseling and sports psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
So what that means is I was trained as a general psychologist, so mental health first. And on that side, I specialize in grief and loss, eating disorders, trauma, perfectionism, anxiety, and performance psych.
For sure.
And then, of course, sports psychology, too. So I work primarily with professional, Olympic, and collegiate athletes across all sports. And then, of course, my connection to the dance world is getting to work with a lot of professional dancers.
Indeed, which is the reason why I'm so glad to have you on today. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
absolutely. I also bartend full time.
Tell them where they can see you at. Come
see me at 7:15 on Mondays, Sunday, Monday, Fridays, happy hours.
Indeed.
Come
Natasha, do you have any handles or do you have any anything that you want to give the dance family, like some information on on how they can reach you if somebody wants to come and see you?
Absolutely. My Instagram handle is at NPT Therapy.
Indeed.
And then I did mention this earlier, but I have written a book. It's about grief and loss. It's called And She Was Never the Same Again.
For sure.
And website for that is andshewasneverthesameagain.com. And then my practice website is npttherapy.com.
Thank you guys. Like I said, this episode is about mental health. Natasha, we were going through. Well, we've been back and forth in our emails for about a couple months now, trying to get this thing started. And one of my goals was, when I was crafting out these episodes, was to have somebody with experience in this area to touch on these subjects that that you and I both kind of collaborated on. I remember I came to you with one prompt, and you was like, this is a lot. Like, you know,
it's like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah. Let's peel this back. You know what I'm saying? And you gave me some good key points to kind of just touch on for part 1, I should say. You know, one of the things. Well, let's just go through a couple of them. So the subjects that you sent to me were body image, eating disorders, perfectionism, anxiety, struggles with communication. There go my.
There it go. It came out.
There it go.
There it go.
Struggles with communication. You know, and the list goes on. So, as I go through my notes, like I said, let's start.
You want to dive right in?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so many different areas that we can get into first.
That you know, I think the first and foremost, because dancers are constantly in front of that lovely, beautiful mirror.
Yeah.
All day long.
So the body image.
I think body image.
Say no more.
So I want to start.
So let's just get right into it, Miss Natasha. From your perspective, how does the dance environment feed into an unhealthy body image or eating disorders?
Yeah, gosh, this is such a big question.
Okay, talk to us.
Some of the things that come to mind for me first is just the expectations and the comments that are made, right? Like what is normalized and appears just very common, right? All the time. So focusing on looking at yourself all day long, you are going to critique yourself when there's already this background of striving, not for excellence, but for true perfection, right? Yeah. No mistakes, no room for error. How do you not look at your body and try to make it what everyone else wants
Especially
it to be?
Coming from me and Miss Chloe, we come from like a little bit of like, not a little bit, like what am I saying? We come from the ballet world.
Yeah.
Right.
We come from the ballet world, and I feel like as a ballet dancer, like that is very, very, very prevalent in the industry. Like,
absolutely.
Yes. Yep. Are there any like any warning signs to kind of like be able to know, or that's
so I think some of it is how much focus are you noticing dancers starting to put on their bodies? How much are they talking about it? How much are they starting to critique it? How much do they internalize what other people say to them about their bodies?
Yes.
So some of this is direct verbal, but a lot of it is indirect, and you do have to kind of pay attention and look in places that might not be as obvious. So are they changing their relationship with food? Are their personalities shifting a little bit? Are you noticing them becoming a little bit more maybe withdrawn to themselves, a little more reserved, maybe more irritable?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that can be indicative of more anxiety. They're just starting to think about it more. Or if they're engaging in behaviors too, physiologically, that starts to shift emotion regulation, how they tolerate distress. So it's a lot deeper.
Yeah, than just food. It's just like it's.
I had no idea, actually. Martez, like, have you ever dealt with anything as far as body image within your? Yeah?
Oh my God. So it started for me when I was like in high school, because like I'm a naturally thick man, right? And in dance, that can become sometimes looked down on. And so in high school, it became a norm for me to just eat like one honey bun and a Sprite Zero, and that was all I ate. For the whole day, because I started my dance training in high school, and I just got kind of like in this mindset where everyone's skinny in class, and so I need to be like that.
Right.
And so we would dance about 2 hours, like 2.5 hours a day, and that's all I would eat. No breakfast, no lunch, and it became a normal. Like I mentally in my head was like, that's okay.
Yes.
And so for years I would do that. And so when I got as a professional, I was like, we can't do that.
Yeah, because you need the fuel.
Your body will eventually say, nope, we're not
doing this.
And it happened to me once, because at one point I even got to the point where I thought if I drank too much water, it would make me look bloated. And so I wasn't drinking water. And so one day in rehearsal, my throat closed, and I fainted and I passed out.
Oh my Lord!
And that was like the scariest moment ever. And ever since then, I was like, oh, I gotta clean up my act. I was like, nah, it's not worth it.
No.
Nope.
That's such a good example because there's so much comparison too that I think starts to play a role where you're looking at other dancers who are getting roles and casted and opportunities that you want. And so many dancers are like, well, what are they doing? And again, I mentioned the indirect, but also I think just the really short, subtle comments that people will make too. You might have heard someone say like, oh, I only eat Coke Zero, and then it's or drink Coke.
Or I have
like,
the thing when I was
Like,
in college was a Diet Coke and a cigarette. That's what people would have. And as a young dancer, growing up and watching like the company members at they go out and have their a Broadway 5, a little 7-minute cigarette, and then go in and run pieces, and I'd be like, where's the nourishment?
Right.
How are y'all
like,
surviving?
Yep.
But yes.
Miss Natasha, how can teachers, choreographers, and even fellow dancers be more mindful in the language that they use when talking about their bodies?
Okay, so this is one of my favorite things to talk about, actually, because I do think, can we separate performance and being able to give feedback on how someone is using their body to achieve a certain task, right? Versus also making sure that dancers, athletes, performers know that their body serves other purposes too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So can you make the language about what they are doing, not who they are? I think separating that kind of character piece from what they can accomplish and what they can work on.
Yeah.
Because again, if they're working on their lines, for example, that's something that they can play with, right? I played basketball, so that's kind of my that's my background. And so for me, right, if my coach could tell me, here are the pieces of your shot that we need to work with, which is very different than you are a bad shooter, right? Exactly. So I think being able just to separate that and make sure they're not getting too focused and that they learn from an early age what else their body is used for.
For sure.
It's not just for performance, and they have to take care of it and value it as such.
And
absolutely.
And you have to be careful. Like I teach students and middle school and high school students, and you have to be very careful with the I can see you can't say I can see your lunch you can't say you guys sound like a herd of cows or whatever when they're jumping or or
I excuse me for laughing.
you heard that one before? That's a classic.
That's something like that just kind of sounded familiar. Like it's just like it's just something
like don't look heavy, like don't be heavy, like all of those pull. I mean, you even have to be kind of careful with pull up. You gotta kind of sometimes be careful. You have to watch yourself with those things, or put your butt down.
I'm like, what? How you even do that?
Exactly. I'm sorry, my butt is the natural curve of your lumbar spine is supposed to, you know what I mean?
Do you feel like do you guys feel like social media kind of plays a part in dancers and how they view their bodies?
People are cruel. Oh my gosh.
Well, and then what do you think, about the videos, right?
Absolutely.
Like, that's how many takes did it take for that person to get to that?
Plus filters and editing,
Photoshop,
and all the different.
I used to Photoshop back in the day. Just squeeze. Let me just squeeze.
Well, you don't know what's real, and then what is a real, what does a real body look like? That whole thing,
Chloe, you said something so important too. Just to answer your question a little bit further, the importance of teachers just being aware of some of the things that they say and how it might come across. Because I know in my experience, the way that people have talked to me, I can take it, tell me, but I know other people, it's not going to translate the same way. And so I think knowing your audience and really taking a pointed effort to know who your dancers are beyond just what they can, how you can cast them or what you can do with them is super important.
Have you seen an increase in, just a quick question, an increase in young dancers coming to see, like, they're having therapy? And
so I work with the academy a little bit too. And so, I think it's starting earlier and earlier. And at the very least, I'm having teachers and people reach out and kind of say like, hey, this happened, or hey, this is going on. But I mean, we can see kids. The youngest I've seen is 8 years old with a full-blown eating disorder.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
some places I've taught at, I look at their lunch and I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah. Well, what's the first step? Like, what's the first step like a dancer should take? Like, if they think they might have an eating disorder or they feel like something's bubbling up, like, what do you do?
Well, and I think this is a really challenging question because most of the time it's not going to be the dancer who says or thinks like, oh, something's going on.
Wow.
Somebody close to them is probably going to notice something first, which makes sense. You want to dance.
Yeah.
You want to perform. And so you're willing to do whatever it takes. And oftentimes I think it's just a slippery slope at the beginning where intentions are usually good. Right? Where you're like, okay, I want to eat cleaner, eat healthier. And these things can then turn into full-blown problems.
Absolutely. Because you start obsessing. That OCD.
Yeah. So I think communication, to answer your question, that's kind of the first step, is trying to create an environment that is a little bit more aware. So this conversation, right, educating people, giving them warning signs, that sort of thing, but then also making and creating space where people just kind of can name, like, this sucks. I'm struggling with this. I don't feel thin enough, or I don't feel pretty enough, or whatever it might be.
Indeed.
Exactly.
Indeed. Another topic that we kind of touched on in our conversations was perfectionism and how that could be a game changer in a dancer's life. When do you feel like perfectionism kind of crosses over in that dangerous area where it kind of like starts to mess with your mental a little bit?
Yeah. Flexibility is one of the first words that come to mind.
Like time wise or
being flexible, like as a skill, right? Like as a trait.
Physically.
No, mental.
Mental.
Like
Okay.
Cognitive
Thank
flexibility.
you.
Yeah, because I think with perfectionism, it's black or white. You're perfect or you're not. And this is a small tangent, so I'll try not to spend too much time on this. But I think perfectionism ends up breeding, of course, a lot of body image concerns, but also so much grief. Because if you are always striving for perfection, I can talk about grief all day. That's probably my favorite clinical area.
Part 2.
Right. When you are striving to be perfect, you are always falling short. And so you are grieving because you are losing all of the time.
Oh, a teacher that I was just in a whole PD session for school, and one of the teachers said, perfectionism is the death of the soul. And I was like, whose quote is that? I was like, I don't know whose quote that is, but they said that, and I was like, oh, yes.
Yeah. So rigidity, right? The more rigidity, the more kind of black and white thinking that you see demonstrated. I think too, when it really starts to impact functioning, like I will have a lot of people that end up finding me because they will say, you know, this one thing didn't go right for me and I lost it. A thing that's seemingly pretty small and I just couldn't get it together and I still can't. And I'm ruminating about this so much. So it's usually when it starts to cross over to genuinely affect other areas of functioning in somebody's life.
Wow.
And you'll see it. You'll know when someone is really, really rigid and the plan changes just a little bit. Yeah. Like you'll see it. We all can think of people like that. Yeah. I can kind of be like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Martez, looking back or looking at your career, do you feel like perfectionism kind of helped or hurt you?
This is such a good question.
Yeah. Ooh. I don't know. I feel like
I thought really long and hard about these questions. Yeah. I did, and then had the chat to help me out a little bit too.
Did it hurt? I feel like it kind of hurt me because I like kind of touching on what you were saying a little bit. I wasn't like allowing myself to like make mistakes, if that makes sense. Like if I made a mistake, I'm like, I just start. I panic and I'm like, now I'm disappointed. Now my mood's gone and
exactly, and it ruins everything. The whole day, everything.
And I'm like, I'm like, so I think it kind of, it hurt. Yeah.
But and then the fear that is bred from that, right? Like I can't make mistakes, so I either can't try or I get so worked up when I do try and it doesn't work out. I think that creates that's another little just tower that just falls down.
Absolutely.
It stifles your artistic self from shining because you're just so
and it sucks the joy
out of it. And then that's all you think about.
And then you're burnt out. And
Is there such thing as having a healthy relationship with perfectionism? What does that look like?
Okay, yeah, I was wondering how you were going to answer this.
Hot seat.
So I feel like this is a both and for me. Many people would argue with me on that there's nothing good about perfectionism. Okay. However, I think if you can really get to a place where you are striving for excellence, not perfection, but when you are striving for excellence, there are some perfectionistic tendencies that I think can be really helpful. Okay. And think about for any dancer, for any performer, for any athlete.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off. It seems like there's a fine line between the two. Like when you say striving for excellence and perfectionism, like how do you even separate that?
So I think if we can get people to a place where you can embrace failure, setbacks, challenges as opportunities for growth instead of assassinations of your own character.
Assassinations of your own character.
Wow.
Yeah. Say that 3 more times.
Yes. Right. And a lot of that confidence, there's a lot of other things that play into that. But my gosh, it just makes such a difference. So yeah, I think you can have this desire to want to do well and perform well and reduce the amount of mistakes that you make. Yeah. And that's where some of that flexibility comes in with being able to be like, okay, damn it, right? Like I did make a couple mistakes here. Yeah. And that also gives you good opportunity to figure out how to move through it.
Exactly.
And that is where I think so many dancers, truly that is one of the biggest things I talk about on a weekly basis with dancers is that fear of failure. And it can become very paralyzing and then they lose their passion.
I was just talking to my significant other about that. Just like, like that's one of my biggest fears is failure, just like at life, you know, like I touch on my story a little bit, like how I kind of come from nothing, and now that I got a little bit of something and I'm on my career path, it's like that's the scariest thing that I deal with like on a daily basis. Is like I never want to go back to this place, and it's crazy. Oh man, it's crazy that that you spoke on that, because that was a conversation that I just had recently, because I was going through a lot with just everyday life, you know, and as a matter of fact, like it was because I was paying for a lot of stuff. I was paying for you know, bills and just adulting. You know what I'm saying? Adulting. And that started to like play in my head, like, oh my gosh, I'm losing so much money, I'm spending so much money, I'm not making, like, we're gonna get into the financial realities in a little bit, but like I'm not making a lot of money. I need to make money because I want to do this, that, and the third, and all the while I feel like I'm literally tearing myself apart. Right. And oh man, it's just I love that.
Trying to be perfect. Like trying to be perfect.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that. Let me get my words together. I love that I have you on and that we can be able to touch on these different subjects.
I hope that I answered that.
Absolutely.
You did.
Absolutely.
I mean, truly, I think that the idea, the intention behind wanting to be perfect, okay, great. But are there other ways that we can go about striving for that aren't going to be so harmful long term?
Exactly. Yeah. It's like the process is more important. Like process over product. Like the process is more interesting and is more fruitful than the product, right? It's always like you're doing all this work for those 3 minutes on stage. Like enjoy it. Like why are you torturing yourself?
And you can't guarantee that the outcome you're striving for is the one you're going to get all the time. So process is all you have, because that's what you have more control over.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah.
Is there a way to separate your self-worth from your performance quality? Is there a way not to mix the two?
I love this question. Again, every question could be just hours and hours.
Yeah.
I talk a lot about developing multiple identities.
Yeah.
Because when you put everything in just one part of your identity, of course, you make a mistake. You don't get a role that you want. Something doesn't work out. You feel like that's all you have.
You're not enough.
Absolutely. So I think with self-worth, what are other aspects of your identity? And then what are some of your other values? Like we know you're going to value whatever your sport is or your dance. We know you're going to value that, but what else? What else is out there? And how else can you define worth that isn't about achievement or doing something? So I talk a lot about the difference between doing and being. And this is something I have to continuously work on myself too, because I'm a doer. And sometimes I'm like, being still, slowing down. What is that? That's not getting me to my next goal. But that's wrong. It does get you to your next goal, and you have to be able to balance that and have values and things that are not tied to any outcome or achievement.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
I love how you answer questions.
I do too.
Thank you.
I'm just kind of I'm just like, yeah. And this is so amazing. Like, I'm kind of just the same way. Like, I'm just kind of in awe. Like, I'm so glad to have you on, because your answers are just they resonate. They resonate so much.
And I'm over like stories are coming up in my head. I'm like, oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Like,
and so as I'm listening to you, I'm like, I'm kind of like getting lost in my own career and thinking about like different
same.
Yeah, like different.
Because like
Jesus.
I know I think about the times I'd come off stage and I'd hide in the dressing room because I didn't do this and and I feel like at the end of my career when I was retiring, which was just leaving the company I was with, I felt like, you know, that I wasn't at my best, right? I wasn't, and I felt like if I'm retiring or stopping from this company, I should be at my best, and I should be perfect. And I had the terrible show. I had a terrible last season, and I ran home and didn't accept my flowers and did all the things because I was so caught up on that perfectionism.
Yes,
I wasn't perfect. Everyone saw it. Everyone, and you start to really be, and then the anxiety that comes along with that, and
and then I'll segue that back to grief. There's so much loss in what you just described. And then when you really are done with your career and you're transitioning to something else, nobody prepares you for that.
No, dancers die twice. Dancers die twice.
And if your identity is all wrapped up in being a dancer, and then you find yourself, okay, I didn't love that last performance. Now I don't have that community and that space in the same way. So how do I grieve that I didn't perform the way I wanted to, and now I've lost this community and I don't really know who the hell I am now and what I'm doing next.
And it's so hard to let that go.
It's so hard to just release and
to be honest, in some ways I don't know if you ever do. Like I don't actively compete anymore, but I still consider myself to be an athlete. That is still part of my identity. So I think that's really tough too, because you have to figure out how to let go and move forward with some of it, but some of it, if we've been doing this stuff our whole lives, how do you just walk away?
Right.
You can't. I mean, you don't.
You know what? And then as I'm looking at my notes, like I'm kind of jumping around a little bit because that was another idea that we kind of talked about in our emails, is forming an identity within and outside of the community. I'm gonna get into Martez's story a little later, one of the questions I have is, why is identity such a big mental health theme for dancers, and how does it shift over a career?
So one of the things that I've noticed, so just a little background on me. So I played basketball, soccer, track. That was my background. Athletic.
I'm telling you.
Well, I tried to be. And then, so coming into dance truly happened throughout my career, just my career as a psychologist. And so I didn't really have, the way that I was in athletics is very different than the dance environment. And so I do think pointing out some of the nuances is really important. I did not spend 6+ hours in a studio staring at myself, oftentimes moving away from home, living with other families, training in other countries. Like that was not at all what I was exposed to as a young kid playing basketball. So there's some nuances that I think are super important for dancers that create some of why their identity is so, they eat, sleep, breathe.
It's a lifestyle.
Like it is a lifestyle. So I think that's part of why that happens. Also going back to questions you've had about teachers, who helps these dancers figure out who else they are, when really all they're telling you is get back in the studio and do that again? So they're not really getting a lot of opportunities or support to develop some of these other aspects of who they are.
I think it's so important to like, and you know what, again, just kind of touching on my story a little bit. I fluctuated a lot throughout my career, and I don't like to apologize for that time period, like that I wasn't dancing, because I think that time period that I didn't have dance kind of helped me shape my identity like without it, so it was very unfortunate that I couldn't dance for years at a time, I hate to say, but like I also got a sense of who I was. So when I was able to step back into the field, I could feel more of myself in the studio and didn't quite have those identity issues once I like kind of like formulated my way back into the business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Crazy.
I have heard that sort of sentiment quite a bit, where people will take some time away. Maybe it's forced, maybe it's an injury.
Yeah.
It could be financial reasons.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Someone in their family gets sick. Whatever the reason might be. And very often you come back fresher.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a different appreciation for it, but maybe more than anything, you have a different appreciation and understanding of yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, you definitely.
So you show up, and with dance, it's so. With basketball, I mean, yeah, you have personality, but with dance, it's so expressive. It's a different type of performance.
Absolutely.
And so you have to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes the time away 100%. Learning who else you are, actually, I would argue, makes you a better dancer.
Mm-hmm. Mm. You have anything, Miss Chloe?
When I was just kind of like just reflecting.
Oh wait,
I get distracted sometimes.
You know, it's okay.
And there's like this little thing over here. I keep hitting. No, just playing with it. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool because it again, like going through, like I couldn't even go in order because like just some of your answers.
I know. Sorry, I'm probably
no. It's perfectly fine, and it's actually helping me. Mm-hmm. It's helping me kind of get better at it too. Like getting into a flow and being ready for when things like that happen.
Okay, well, and if I may, right? Absolutely. You're in the moment, you're demonstrating that perfection.
Yeah.
Where it's like, no, it needs to be this way. And then there's flexibility, right? Because we're like, okay, but we came over here, and then it's like, well, that wasn't in my plan.
Yeah.
The diverting from the plan.
But it's going to resonate more, right? Like this is going to be more meaningful when we can deviate and just be real, because this is unfiltered. This isn't your Instagram, here's the filter, here's the 8,000 takes. Like this is what people need to see.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So I don't care if we go in order or not. It doesn't matter.
I'm
just kind of freestyling now at this point.
I like it.
And just making sure that I don't get too redundant with some of my questions that I had prepared. We touched on a little bit about how difficult it could be for dancers to transition when they're done with their career. Do you have any helpful tips for dancers who might be going through that?
Yeah. So again, going back to what I just said, if you can develop some other aspects of who you are before, that is awesome.
Yes. Really getting in tune with yourself.
I think accepting that it's going to be hard and naming it what it is. It's grief.
Yeah.
Very frequently do I hear people pitch it that way. In fact, most of the time when I start talking about athletic careers, performance careers, and how much grief is involved, people are immediately like, oh my gosh, yes, but they had never really put those things together. Yeah. So that is one of my tips, being able to know and to name, okay, I'm going to experience some significant loss here, and that is grief.
Yeah. That's what no one prepares you for that. And I don't think that they can. I mean, they can tell you, but when you experience
you don't know until you're in it.
You won't know until you're in it. But then when you're in it, knowing what to do with it.
Yeah.
How do I navigate this? How do I get on the other side?
Yeah. I think another piece to that too is, so how do you navigate that? What does that look like? Yeah. I think values work is really, really important. And what I mean by that is just knowing what is important to you.
Absolutely.
And why those things are important to you, because then you can kind of look at, okay, so I had a lot of this stuff in dance, but where else can I find those core things that really make me me through other mediums?
Absolutely. For me, it took for me to have time away from it to understand that, like, what else am I good at? What else can I put my heart into and receive something back? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the time it's hard though with for example with a full-time company schedule. Like the last thing you want right when you get home, you want to roll your body out, get in the tub, have a bite to eat, and go to bed.
I'm just so glad we're touching on these subjects, because like I've been stressed the hell out. I've been stressed the hell out these past couple weeks with trying to juggle my podcast and trying to juggle rehearsals. Like I said, like we're kind of like we're a little like knee deep in the season now. You know what I'm saying? Getting ready for shows and whatnot. And that's what, like I said, that was one of the reasons why I really needed to come and see you, is because I'm really, I'm pretty sure when this episode come out, they'll probably be able to see like the dance family. Like, my issue right now is balance. I'm having a hard time really trying to juggle everything and juggle everything with a peaceful mind. Do you have any advice for anybody else who might be going through something like that?
Of course. So again, perfectionism. You're trying to balance and do all those things. You're also trying to do all those things perfect. And I think we underestimate. And even as I say this out loud, this is something that I personally still really, really struggle with. So I believe in it and I know it, but sometimes in the moment I'm like, God, this is so hard. But being comfortable with just being and recognizing that is productive as well. So yes, you're trying to juggle all these things, and yes, you're exhausted after a full day of rehearsals and going home and just kind of wanting to collapse. But being able to give yourself that time to do nothing, that is a form of productivity, because you need that to be re-energized and to keep going. So yeah, I'd encourage a little stepping away from the perfection. I'd also encourage a little reevaluation of what you're trying to balance. Do you need to be balancing all of that?
Wow.
Do you need to? Do you want to?
Right?
Like the why. Remembering your why.
What's your why? Yeah, I think that's huge, because sometimes I find that prioritizing and maybe taking some things out and doing the things that are most important to you really, really well, more meaning for you. You're not as burned out. You do it better.
Longer career.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure like calm the anxiety. The anxiety of.
Oh my gosh, that was another subtopic that I had in our episode today. What does performance anxiety look like on a dancer?
If I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I ask each of you just to describe what it looked like for you?
For me, performance anxiety. Oof.
Okay, I can comment on this. So I feel like when I was coming to the end of my career, I was focusing on I was less focused on myself and more focused on the company, the group, because I was the rehearsal director, I helped with a lot of things.
Yes.
And what I found was that I got what I think was Simone Biles' twisties. I got my own version of the twisties as a dancer.
Wow.
Yeah, I promise you. It was like a whole mental block. And when I would get on stage, it's like I couldn't stand up. The lights would throw me off. And I was like, I have never been like this in my life. And then going back to the perfectionism and the and then all of that. And I'm just like, what is happening? What is happening? Is that a common that
absolutely?
Holy smokes! No one has ever I'm just like I had the twisties.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know. I'm very just like kind of to myself. I don't know if that's a form of performance anxiety, but like I would like, kind of some of the culture is like, we hug everybody, we tell everybody merit, we try to give each other energy and this. But me on the other hand, I'm kind of like, okay, like once we kind of are finished with what we need to do as far as what we need to do for this performance, I kind of need to zone out.
Okay.
I kind of need to be away from everybody. I need to not talk as much. I need to kind of just be in my own head for a second to feel comfortable, I guess, with going on stage.
So too much stimulation.
Too much will make me like I think that's more along too much just I feel like energy. Just unnecessary energy. Unnecessary energy. Like I feel like that feels like anxiety for me.
For me, before I perform, I don't know why my anxiety like skyrockets. It like skyrockets. I forget the dance. My feet and my hands get really sweaty.
Wow.
And then once the curtain comes up, it all goes away.
Yeah.
It happens every show. Like every single show. There's not one show where it doesn't happen. Even if it's like sometimes like before like a rehearsal starts and we're about to like run a piece. Same thing. I'm like, what the hell what are the steps? And then boom, the music starts and I'm like, oh,
I got it. Yeah. So I wanted you each to answer that, because the answer is it depends. It looks a little bit different for every person.
I see.
Again, I would encourage anyone listening, right? Like, it's just about you kind of figuring out, when do I feel that complete overwhelm, where it's almost like an out-of-body experience sometimes, or it's like I've forgotten everything, and you know damn well you didn't forget.
Right.
I'm like, we've been working on this all month.
Like, now, hold up.
Jesus.
Yes, yes, because you all pointed out you pointed out some physical symptoms, right? Like, my hands, I get really sweaty, I get really clammy. You pointed out some more of that kind of, I just, the stimulation, the sensory stuff is too much for me. So with each of what you brought, it looks a little different.
True. So how can you tell the difference between, I guess, like normal nerves and anxiety, like where you actually like need to see somebody, like, or you need
it's
help.
like almost like like it's debilitating.
Well, I think that's the answer, right? If you are noticing that it is just becoming, then you start dreading performances or dreading rehearsals. So what is the impact on your functioning in your craft and outside of it? I think that is how I would answer that.
Got you.
This is one of my favorite kind of visualizations though. I have a lot of people come and seek me out and they say, I need you to help me get rid of my anxiety. And then I say, you're not going to like working with me because I cannot do that.
Exactly right. Like the magic. Like,
I was about to say, it just sounds like
that easy?
A magic flick of the hand.
But what I explain to them is we actually need some of that, right? Research has shown we perform best at a moderate level of anxiety. Right. So if you think about that U shape, right, with research, if you don't have any, you're not really as sharp and as focused.
Yeah.
And then if you have too much, that's also debilitating.
Yeah. Right.
But when you have just a little bit, it helps you with sharpness. It helps you remind you of your why and why you're doing it to begin. It reminds you that this is important and you got to pay attention and you got to really do a good job. Give it your all. So that being said, I think about, we have this metaphor, right? Butterflies in your tummy. What I like to encourage people to do is visualize those butterflies. How much do you have in there? What are they doing right now? And then I encourage, there might be some butterflies that you have to let out. Let them go.
Yeah.
But those that are there, teach them how to fly in formation. And so you can visualize, what do you do with those butterflies? And I've had athletes over the years, I've had some that will write out phrases. I've had some that will create images. Sometimes it's more like landscape images. Sometimes it's images of like important people in their lives,
cool way to
things
think
like
about
that.
Yeah.
So it's like we want to keep what's there, but you got to be in control of it. So you create that formation so that you're in control and the anxiety isn't controlling you.
Natasha dropping gems, man.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
I feel like this
you got a book.
I do in fact.
Let's go.
Natasha is really dropping gems today.
Because you're right. There is a healthy level. There is a healthy level that you. And I always try to tell my students too, and my son. I mean, like, you don't have anxiety, you feel anxious. You're not depressed, you're sad. You know what I mean? It's like those moments where we start to mislabel even our
and that
feelings.
goes back to what we were saying too about separating who you are from something that you're dealing with right now.
Exactly.
That's also one of my favorite skills in all of psychology is to be able to be like, here's a great example for all of us perfectionists.
Yes.
Many of which are in this room.
Right.
I'm telling you.
You make a mistake and you immediately are like, I'm an idiot. I can't do this. And so an example of this would be, I screwed this up, not I am stupid. Those are very different things.
Those are two different things.
So, and I catch myself even now, doing all of this work, you would think I wouldn't still struggle with some of this stuff, but that's the thing. These things are ongoing for such a long time. And so I catch myself all the time making these kind of character judgments. And I think for perfectionists, that is automatic. Yeah. We do it without even being conscious that we're doing it.
Then we carry it into our regular life too.
Exactly.
Like I said, like I feel like part of my perfectionism kind of just stems from, a lot of it stems from dance, you know, especially like coming into like being an adult as well. I'm just like kind of in awe with like a lot of your answers. Like
you made me think about the other day. I had this ain't about dance, but I'm just.
It's okay.
Okay. I had my first anxiety attack, and I don't think ever like had one before.
Okay.
I was trying to like do everything perfectly the other day at my job and follow every recipe, and I kept messing up. And then as like the time went on, I couldn't think straight. My heart started racing, and once I finished this recipe, it was all messed up, and I was like, and that just spiked, and I was like panting. My heart was like, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's horrible experience.
Yeah.
So I want to peel back for a second. I want to peel back for a second and get into one of my fun segments that I've kind of crafted for this podcast. And it's called the. Martez, why you looking at me like that?
What's going on?
Okay, so one of the segments I have prepared is called the bar exam. So basically, what I will do is I will pull out a word from the ballet dictionary, and you guys will try to take a crack at spelling it.
Oh,
spelling it?
Yes.
He called me with this on the first episode.
Hey, Siri.
Oh my gosh.
Now, there is like I told everybody, like at some point, I think I want to like get some merch like in bulk. So if you get it right, I want to be able to give you like a T-shirt or a mug.
I was just about to ask you if I can give me a movie mic shirt.
These are like all like the ones that I've been wearing in the episodes thus far. They're kind of like prototypes, or just kind of like stuff that I'm playing with. I'm hoping to like just get some feedback from like the dance family and just others to let me know. Okay, hey, I like this logo up in the third. So like I said, I'm still very much in the beginning of like my whole process. Like and like I said, I'm juggling so much right now, but there's gonna be more to come. Like I said, pretty soon, whenever we do the bar exam, I'm gonna have gifts. So I would love to have
that. But your gift right now is our smile.
Yeah.
I'm coming back for my gift.
And if you want a T-shirt for real, I can definitely have you one made for sure. Thank you. That'd be my thank you for coming on the show. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, okay. So the bar exam.
Bar exam.
All right. So
I don't even know what the word is, y'all.
See.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he hit me. What'd you hit me with?
Give me one. Give me Pilier.
Do we get?
I think you gave me something entonnoir.
Do we get a paper and pencil to maybe
paper and pencil?
Try
do you need a paper and pencil?
I mean, maybe.
Oh no, I'll be embarrassed trying to spell it.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because I have the word. I just want to make sure.
Can we start off easy?
Oh yes.
Yes. Oh, there you go.
Yes, the parents. Thank you.
I'm looking at your paper.
Okay.
All right. So
I'm excited.
This is the word that I have, and I want you to tell me if because I thought it was fairly easy.
It's DJ with the ballet app on
What?
his phone.
Look, okay, like I said, dance family, I'm a real ballet dancer. You could check my resume if you need to.
I also want to talk about or point out that we're talking about this perfectionism and how to work on it, and I'm like, I want to do that.
And I need a pen and
I need a
pad.
pen and paper.
As good as some of this sounds, this is hard in
I need my
practice to let go
dictionary.
of.
Your term for the bar exam is coup de pied.
Coup de pied. Do you like our French accent? Let's just talk about those French. Coup de pied.
Coup de pied.
Use it in a sentence.
Sur le coup de pied.
Ooh.
If I could speak French,
I feel like I know what it is.
You know what
it's
it is.
fairly
I'm doing it with my parents down here. I'm like, I know what it is.
Yeah.
The little
Say it one more time.
Coup de pied. I'm saying it right?
Yeah, coup de
Yeah,
pied.
like I said, dance family, correct me if I'm wrong.
Does it start with a C?
There you go.
It does.
Okay, we getting
Are we
somewhere.
playing?
You guys gotta work together though. You guys gotta work together.
Oh, we work together.
Yes. No, it's
Absolutely not.
Because I sure looked down just to make sure that was right. I said, see?
Yeah,
you guys can work
see?
together for
You
sure.
ready?
Cool.
Like Barracuda?
Like Barracuda.
I like where your mind's going now.
So C-O.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
C-O-E.
love where your mind's going.
Yeah.
You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, my bad. I'm like,
Wait,
we're
wait,
going
wait.
the right way.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going the right way.
I can only give
Oh,
you
C-O.
confirmation when you
Sir the
finish it.
Cuda. Sir the Cuda.
Coup de pied.
Oh, shoot.
It's just coup de pied.
Oh,
think
just
it's
Yeah,
a
coup de
U.
pied.
Say it one more time.
Coup de pied.
I think it's a U.
them ballet words is tricky.
That's also true.
Them ballet
You hear a U, but just an L. It's like, okay.
French
Let's throw an
language.
X in there.
Okay.
C-O. No U? You don't think it's a U.
I love this.
I feel like
this is great.
I hear
know,
cool,
right?
so I feel like it's a U.
All right, the timer's coming in.
C-O-U.
Oh, it's are we time?
Yep, it's timed
let's see,
exams.
C-O-U. Cuda.
Cuda, and then P-A.
No L.
No,
right?
L. No. That's
Plie.
that's plie.
Do you want a hint? That's probably gonna mess y'all up.
No. What's the hint?
I love the bar exam.
It's not one. It's not one.
I was
word.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, so we're right. Yeah.
I should have told him that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not one word.
I feel like this is right.
C-O-U-D-A space.
P-A. P-A.
P-A.
Okay, look. I'll give you another. Okay, so it's 3 separate words.
C-O-U-D space A space
P-A.
P.
This is
I just
amazing.
know plie.
I know, right?
I just know plie.
Because if I take the L off, it's pie.
It's pie. I don't think that's right.
Me neither.
Okay.
Unless one of the words.
Look, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help.
P-A-E?
Cool, which means that's
Neck,
rap, right? No.
Neck of the foot. Neck of the foot.
Yeah.
Neck of the foot.
Yeah.
Neck of
I wonder if my foot can still do that.
No, it's
no,
neck.
no.
Who is neck?
Hell if I know.
Cool is neck.
But
I think that.
I
Yeah. Dance family, correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's
But cool
Google
is
it.
neck.
Okay.
Day is like of or from.
Yeah.
So that should help.
Oh.
And
Spanish.
then PA.
On the neck of the foot. Neck of the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do like each
PA.
separate.
Yeah. So
meaning.
neck
I'm thinking like
of. So neck.
Cool is neck.
I guess. Let's see. Yeah.
P-I.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Day, and then PA is foot. PA.
Now, why
Where's
they
Micah?
Now why they right?
Yeah.
Can we phone a
I think it's
friend?
I think it's this. You just made that sound very, very Spanish, and so
I did? Okay.
I'm not fluent in Spanish, and so all of my family would be so disappointed in me because I should be fluent in Spanish. I'm not.
Cool de PA.
I think that's right.
Let's go with it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Wait. Let me make sure I get it right.
If we get it wrong, what happened?
Yeah. Cool is neck. Yeah. You're right. It's
Okay.
neck.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure that
If
I
we
wasn't
get it
saying
wrong,
nothing
then we
Me
have
crazy.
too.
in the moment experience of not being perfect that we have to cope with effectively.
Yeah. Dang.
Like I tell all my guests, you
circle.
there's no gift or nothing happens if you get it right or wrong, but you just got to kind of deal with everybody.
Yeah,
you
they
know.
gonna know I can't spell.
Yeah.
Oh, my students gonna be like, so you couldn't spell? I'm like, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so our final answer is
Okay.
C-O-U space D-E space P-A-E.
Ooh, it was
Close.
almost. It's the PA. What'd you say for PA?
P-A.
P-A-E.
Oh, P-A-E.
PAE. So PA is PIED.
P-I-E-D. Oh, that's
Yes.
not
It's our
So it
beautiful
should've-
accents.
Yeah.
Oh my
Who the
goodness.
PA? So you
Hi.
had COU space DE and then
Oh, we were so close.
yes,
You
you
were
guys
so close.
you guys were very close.
Teamwork's a
Pod.
dream work. Pod.
Damn.
Nah, that was good. That was good.
Yes,
That was
bravo.
good. That
We
was
tried
really
our
good.
best.
We tried.
That was really good.
Process, but the
yeah.
process was enjoyable.
Yes.
Process of
Yeah,
product.
yeah.
Ooh,
Indeed,
I'm
indeed.
DJ. I'm gonna get you for that one.
That's great.
Okay, so let's get into navigating a cutthroat environment. Miss Natasha, what are the mental consequences of constantly feeling like you're in competition with your peers?
Oh my gosh. Such a long list.
Can I just mention, like, I love how you light up when I ask you these questions too. That's why I like, oh my God.
I just love that they're being asked because the
Yeah.
more awareness around some of this stuff, like truly, I'm hoping that someone listening hears
Same.
something that we talk about and realizes, wow, that is so true for me. I'm actually not alone in that. And then if they can get something tangible that they can play around with and maybe
Absolutely.
make their career a little better or their relationship with themselves a lot better, like,
Mhm.
yeah, so I do light up because it's like people need to talk about this stuff.
Absolutely. And like, I've kind of known that, I guess, like, surface level, like, throughout my career, which is the reason why I wanted to start the movement mic, is because, like, you know, our profession is like, it's silent. Like, we dance, like, we don't talk. But if you actually listen to people and listen to their stories and listen to what they have to say, and listen to how they feel, a lot of dancers feel very strongly about how they feel on certain topics. and feel neglected and feel like they're not heard. And like again, I digress, but like that was the whole point of like me creating this platform, is to have these conversations. I feel like these conversations are so important. They're more important than dancers probably know, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, and oftentimes being so afraid to use your voice.
Yeah.
And to speak up. I think this is one of the biggest areas.
I was like,
God.
Truly, I'm so glad you both had that reaction, because that has been true. So I've been with the Colorado Ballet now.
Yeah.
For
Shout out Colorado Ballet.
3+ years. Like for a full season, right? And I worked with them a little kind of part-time for a couple seasons before that, but 3 full seasons with them. And that is the conversation that I have the most, is I am trying to provide skills and tools and training to these dancers to be able to advocate for themselves. And the fear and the uncertainty and the insecurity that they're like, we can't do that, or we don't know how, or what's going to happen if we do. Will I lose out on opportunity?
Yeah.
That's it's the not communicating injury.
Yeah.
It's the not
Yes.
communicating. I even injury up here.
Yes.
I'm not feeling it today.
I'm not feeling.
Yes.
Or just being able to say that in a way that can get across and feel like you're actually being heard. You know, like if I tell a choreographer or an artistic director that, you know, I'm having some mental things going on with me, I don't want to be dismissed.
Yeah.
Or look weak.
Yes.
Or like I said, I don't want to be dismissed and like, you need to be back in the studio. I think you mentioned something like that earlier. Just get back in the studio.
Just get back in the studio.
Or dance it out.
Like,
I don't want to.
I don't want to. That's dance is causing the problem. I don't want to dance it out.
I had to learn how to like speak up for myself, because there were so many years where I did not speak up, and let's say I get injured and I will be dancing on a hurt toe, or you know.
Yeah.
I remember my back gave out one time when I was dancing, and they wanted me back in the studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, heck no.
Yeah.
And even like I learned
Fighting
to
injuries.
speak up for like my mental days too. Even like because I bartend also, and sometimes I'm just like, I can't. I was like, I can't come to work today, or I can't dance today. I need a mental day.
Yes.
Like, and my mental day might be 2 days.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe
I think
3.
we all got into our own little like I said, our own little spills. But my original question to you was, what are the mental consequences of constantly feeling like you're in competition?
Oh, right.
With all of your peers. I'm
we
sorry.
We got sidetracked.
Yeah. Like I said, hopefully we're gonna do it. Hopefully, I'm gonna really try to like be on Charlie and Neil about chopping this episode up, because this episode, I feel like this is gonna be a game changer for a lot of dancers. But again, I need to stay on topic so we can wrap it up. So yes, consequences of feeling like of being in competition with your peers.
I think it breeds a lot more perfectionism, where you just never feel like you can shut it down or turn it off or take a break, right? If you take a day off, there's how many other dancers that aren't taking that day off.
Right.
And so that comparison game, I think, also becomes really intense.
Even your peers do it. Somebody gonna be able to take your spot. Like even like
the Hunger Games.
Yeah, like
it's not a family anymore. It's
like
Games.
even
They
like
look at you different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And talk about having another episode on the interpersonal dynamics of dance companies and dancers getting along. I mean, I know we could talk about that for hours.
Probably,
and hours
for
and hours.
sure.
Days and days and
For
days.
sure.
But
weeks.
that's part of it too. The social relationships that get impacted as well. I mean, there's just so many layers to this. So
many.
I would never encourage people to not be competitive. I'm very competitive.
Sure.
For sure.
Healthy
For sure.
competition.
Absolutely.
Like,
Healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, but also
I feel like a piece of that kind of adds to
recognizing
growth.
Oh yeah.
Like,
if I see somebody do 3 turns, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not D4.
Yes. So I love that. And I think that becomes one of the ways to deal with the challenge is, can you turn that into a, let me see if I can do that. Not a, wow, that dancer is so much better than me, but
exactly. The
how
language.
do I figure that out?
Yeah.
I mean, do you
Talk
hear
about
that?
it.
It's so different to be like, let me, okay.
Oh yeah. Me and Tony used to do that all the time in the studio, all the time.
Oh yeah. And it's like you're not comparing. It's not a comparison in that perfectionist model. It's like, it's just like, it's fun. It's like we're having a good time with it.
It's an experiential learning too.
Yeah.
Okay, like, okay, I see that is possible. Now let me see if I can do that for myself.
And I can't, I will. Like, I'll be able. It's not that I can't, it's that I can't, or whatever, and I will.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
It's like the second part of that sentence.
Yeah. I think the other big challenge I'd throw out is how isolating the life of a dancer often is.
Yes.
And I think that is just, there's so much, there's a section of psychology that talks about social constraint, which is not just the opposite of social support, but it's this idea of, because of this part of things, I can't. So casting, for example. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of social constraint involved because you're also friends with the people that you're dancing with. Right. And so if you don't get what you wanted, or you're confused about someone else who did get something else.
Get that? They shouldn't have.
There's so much social constraint where it's like, how vulnerable can you be? How open can you be? What conversations can be had and cannot be had? And so I think it's just very isolating. And if you are on an island, maybe you're the only dancer in your family. Yeah. And you
that's immediately where my mind went to is I'm the only dancer in my family. Okay. And you know,
turn to anyone. Who do you turn to?
Yeah, that and even like, you know, for a period of time I was kind of going through it with my family, like just I feel like my family couldn't understand the amount of
commitment and
I feel like the amount of commitment, and that really put a strain on our relationship, especially me and my mom. Like like you talked about the communication, like coming up in our dance careers, like we feel like, you know, we got to train, we have to put the hours in, we got to do this, and that often like kept me from like I went periods of times without speaking to my mom, and like, but my mom would take it so personal, or my family, like my siblings, they would take it so personal and be like, you know, oh, you don't want to be with your family, you don't want to be, but it's like, no, like I'm not communicating, but like I feel like I have a solid reason why I'm not. Like I'm really trying to craft.
Yeah, I'm trying to perfect
this craft. Back to perfectionism.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? Milton Myers, I will never forget. He said this, and love Milton Myers, Horton master. Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Milton.
Shout out to Mr. Myers. He said one time at the International Summer Dance Institute at Cleo's, he said, "Dance is a selfish lover." And I was like, that hit home, because it's like, yeah, it's that dance wants all of your focus. It wants everything. There's no room for family. There's no room, and you sit on that isolated island by yourself, dealing with the anxiety and the perfectionism and the body image, and you feel like no one understands, and there's no one that
and then the fear of speaking up, at least from a mental health perspective too. Right. I hear that all the time, where it's like, no, I don't want so-and-so to know I'm anxious, and will they not trust me? Will I be seen as not reliable? How is that going to affect my casting?
How is that? And isn't that so how is that going to affect? You're so worried about like that part of it. Like, have you ever felt that way, Martez? Like you couldn't speak up in your career? Like,
oh yeah. Even like, not even when it comes to the studio, even when it comes to like my finances, like just accepting anything, knowing that I'm about to struggle, and I'm just like, I'm struggling. Yeah. Yes. But now I'm a it's
like, why is that? Why is that?
Contract right out.
Yes. Well, it's just like, why is that a thing? Like, why can't dancers? Like, why can't we speak up? Like, why can't we?
You guys are going to know more about this than me, so please like correct me and slice and dice this as much as you need to. But it just sounds like from the very beginning in this culture, that's not cultivated.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You are told
right. Exactly.
No, I don't need to hear you. I need you to perfect this move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't talk to me about it. Don't ask questions. And that's it. You know, trying to peel back these old school. Because dancers are damaged, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm like, when I teach, I'm like,
there's still something rooted in I know, I feel like I know what path you're on, and it just made me think of like you said, like it's not cultivated to it's now I'm trying to find the words for it.
It's just not ingrained in the it's not in the fabric of dance. Like
absolutely.
It's just.
But you get that in sports though. Would you say
you said dancers are damaged. Athletes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lululemon,
high
performance. Give us our 25%
high performance athletes for sure.
High performance individuals, right? Depending on the different types of communities that you're in. Yeah, and I think what's missing. This might be kind of a nice segue. One of the things that I would like to leave you all with, and then of course anybody listening, gains and losses. So yes, you said damaged, but I would include the word beautifully before that, or insert whatever adjective you want there, because I think it's a both and. Because there's so much beauty in breaking down, in being damaged, in going through hard things. You truly can't have one without the other. And so if we're gonna love, we're gonna grieve.
Right.
If we're gonna be sad, we're gonna experience joy. Like that is life. And I think the more we kind of wrap our head around that and make space for the in between, not the black and white, but the gray and the in between there, I think that's what's gonna serve, again, not just dancers, but us as people.
Yeah, there's the rainbow after the storm. There will be a rainbow after the storm. It's like, just navigating through those hard times. And I think that leadership, don't you think that leadership in the space can control like the safe, they can help navigate the tone and the energy of the space to help.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Is there a way that
okay, I'm gonna kind of go a little like boom boom boom. I love it. My choreography. I love it. I'm a umshata.
Spell that.
Right. The leadership has to. We're not kids as professional dancers. You know what I mean? And I think that it's that feeling of that dancers feel like we're always students, right? We're always students.
Yeah.
But it's like sitting at the foot of
back to that cultivation.
Yeah, like sitting at the foot of like the feet of the masters, right? But it's like I'm sitting at the feet, but I'm also staying on the shoulders. But that doesn't give you the right to talk down to me and to speak to me. And I feel like as that culture that has been created and in the dance world, in the especially old school ways of throwing chairs and shoes and
I won't say
have
no
a cigarette in the
names.
studio.
Have a cigarette in the studio. I think that we're not far. I think that people are watching this like, and yes, we look fabulous. We look so young. But we're also older than we look. But we come from an older generation that now
we're not too far removed from that.
Exactly. Those were our
time.
teachers.
Those were our teachers.
And now it's like we're trying to change that culture so that it's not so we're not so beautifully damaged, and we're not so. And I think that I think that will shift.
I think that will shift the whole. I think that will shift the culture of dance like into a whole nother atmosphere. To be honest,
it will, and I think it'll allow dancers to give more energy to the process, and the mental health won't struggle, and the bodies won't struggle with how. Our bodies internalize.
So I talk about this a lot. And I think one of the coolest things about the mental health program that I've been working on building for the Colorado Ballet over the past few years is the fact that they allow me, because I told them, I always start when I'm working with a new team or with a new organization, I always kind of start with a needs assessment. And I want to know what's going on at the top. I want to know what's going on at the bottom and everywhere in between. And I think interventions to change a culture have to come from both at the same time. And so being able to permeate the fabric of these institutions, of these companies, by addressing the top, by talking to the ballet masters and saying, here are some issues with the culture. How do we change that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
By talking with administration that don't even really know dancers.
Yeah.
Here are some issues with the culture. What do we do about that?
You have to have that outside eye, because otherwise you're sitting in it. You're marinating in it. You don't understand. Absolutely. You have to have that outside eye.
But then also by sitting with the dancers
Yes.
And saying, this is your life day in and day out.
Yeah.
You all are going to have your eyes and see stuff way more than myself or anyone else would.
Absolutely.
So that is kind of my approach with the leadership is it's got to be top down, it's got to be bottom up, and you have to have hard questions. But you have to really ask the question, what do you want your culture to look like?
And they have to want to listen. If they don't want to listen, then that's...
And that tells you, is this a place where I want to be or not? And that is something I really wish dancers would lean into. Again, if you take anything from this, you have options.
And I don't think dancers feel like they have options sometimes. It's like, I got the job. Like,
we're so trained to like I think I saw a post about this not too long ago. Like we're kind of trained to just say yes to everything. That's kind of like a cultivated thing within the dance.
Absolutely.
Just say yes, just say yes, just say yes, and like not knowing the mental toll it might take when you just say yes to something and it just takes you through the ringer, whether you're not getting paid or you're working long hours and you got 20 performances in a week or something like that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then like what
Indeed. Martez, you have a very interesting story that I kind of just only heard through the grapevine. I didn't want to like, be too much in your business. And I can honestly say, like, maybe at the time we didn't have like a super close relationship. I didn't feel like I knew you well enough to kind of ask you certain things. But before we got to this podcast or before we got to this point, we talked about it a little bit, and you went through something that I couldn't even imagine. You battled stage 2 cancer, and could you remind me the name?
Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Hodgkin's lymphoma. Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Okay, so at the time I didn't want to necessarily dive into it because I didn't know if our relationship was at that point, like you get what I mean. I was just like, that's not none of my business. You know what I mean? Like I don't like people. It's just been like through the grapevine.
I love talking about it.
Okay, cool. So for those who may not know what it is, can you explain what it is for a little bit?
Yeah, so it's a cancer that's in your immune system. Wow. And the stages will it's 1 through 4. And if it's stage 1, it's in one spot, and then as the number goes up, it becomes in multiple like different spots. Ooh. And so that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay. When were you diagnosed?
In July of 2011.
July of 2011. Okay.
It was like a month after I graduated high school.
Okay. Yeah. And how long were you how is it something that goes away? Is it something that stays with you?
It's one of the, from what I was told, is one of the most curable cancers.
I see. Okay.
And I found it. I kind of like found it myself because it got to the point where it could start to stick out of my body. And they found it in my neck. And I was feeling my neck and I was like, something ain't right. And at the time I was still, dancing. I thought it was just like a tweak. Yeah. Like from like spotting or something. I was like, I just did something. But then I would push down on it and it would hurt. And it's a painless cancer, so you're not experiencing any pain. And so I showed my mom, and I remember sitting on the floor right next to my grandma and being like, oh, I really hope it's not cancer. I just randomly said that. So I went to the doctor.
Wow.
They did like a biopsy, and when you go to the doctor and they tell you to come in, they can tell you over the phone.
Yeah.
You know something's wrong.
Yeah.
And they called me, and I was like, we need you to come in. And I was like, no, can you just tell me? And they was like, no, we really need you to come in. And when you go to the hospital, if the waiting room is filled, let's say your appointment is at 10 o'clock, you're probably not going back there until like 11. They skip me up to the front.
Yeah, put you in the room.
Like the nurse, she came out smiling. She said, Martez McKinzy? And then she looked down at my chart and then holding me to change.
Wow.
And so I went in the back. They didn't tell me until my mom left the room. They were kind of like sugarcoating it a little bit.
I was about to say, how old were you at this time?
18.
18. Okay, so I could kind of see, but you said they waited until your mom left the room?
Yeah,
so I didn't mean to cut you off.
They didn't really tell me. And like my mom was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And as soon as she left, the doctor was like, so we found cancer cells. Wow. And I was like, wow. And it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me at first. I was like, okay. And I had like these dreads. They were fabulous. They were like red tipped. And like the first,
talk about it.
The first question I asked was, "Am I gonna lose my hair?"
Yes,
I was in. He was like, "Yeah." I was like,
"Wow." Wait a minute.
Okay.
Can we just put this in perspective real quick? The doctor tells you that you, and that's another reason why I wanted to have you on. Like to even be able to make me feel comfortable to laugh about that is like it's crazy. Like for you to be in a doctor's office and they tell you, okay, brother, you got stage or you have cancer, and the first thing that comes into your mind is, am I gonna lose my hair?
But I didn't cry at first or nothing. I was like, am I gonna lose my hair? And then I was like, okay. And then because the only person in my family I've known has had cancer, she passed away from it, was my great grandmother. Yeah. And so immediately after that, after they told me the devastating news of me losing my hair, that
I love how you shape that.
I was like, okay. And so immediately I was like, oh, I'm about to die.
Wow.
I was like, okay. Man. And then I had to call my dad afterwards, and well, I told my mom when she came into the.
How long has it been? Like, how long was this process of what you're speaking of now? Like, you telling your grandma and telling your dad?
It was all in the same day.
Okay.
I was still in the office.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, my mom came back in the room, told her face completely changed, and then we called my dad immediately. He was at work, and then I remember him getting on the phone, and I told him, and I was like, Dad, I don't want to die, and I just lost it, and I just bawled my eyes out. And I was also, at the time, I had just gotten a scholarship to go to Joffrey. So I was supposed to start in like July for like the summer intensive or something like that. And I asked them, I emailed them, I was like, hey, I have to go through this. Is there a way I can
defer?
Like, push it back to like next year or something. And I even asked my doctors, I was like, hey, can we start chemo and stuff after the summer intensive? Because I just didn't want, I was so excited about it.
Still wanted to dance.
And they were like, no, we have to start immediately. In like maybe like a week or so after, maybe 2 weeks, I had to get like my port put in my chest, and that shit was like the most painful. Oh, I cussed. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
It was like, it was so, and it just felt weird because it started from here and it goes like through and like
it's a pick
down.
Line. Yeah, pick line.
It was.
Wow.
It was a process. Like chemo, to keep my spirits up after like every chemo treatment, I will go to take dance class.
I was gonna say, how was your mental health?
I was just about to say
that's where I had to like dance was like keeping me sane. Dance was keeping me sane. I literally was taking class up until my body couldn't anymore.
And how long was that?
2 months in, I think.
2 months in.
Yeah, because my body was recovering quickly. Like after chemo treatments, like it was recovering like really quick.
Yeah.
And so then with chemo, if people don't know, but it.
Yeah, I was about to say, can you talk a little bit about that? Like about that chemo, process? Like how often did you have to do it? How long?
So mine is it's different it's different for different cancers. So for me specifically, I did it in rounds. I think that's what they called it. But so my first week of round 1, I go every day for 5 days. First day I get 4 or 5 treatments, different chemos, and one of them took 2 hours to push in. Ooh. So I would have to
sit there for a
while. And then Tuesday through Friday, I would have to go back and get the 2-hour one again. But I will always request to be put to sleep, to be given Benadryl, just because like when it enters your body, you can just feel
it's too much,
like the nausea coming and the chemo. I started getting like some really painful side effects. Like one of the medicines took away the circulation in my fingers and in my toes, so they were just black.
Oh,
so like
is that neuropathy
color.
Or something?
It was I forgot what that medicine was. It was like the same medicine. It also changed like the fluid color in my body. So if I would cry, it would be red. If I peed, it'd be red. And so I went through all of that for about 4. Well, no.
Yeah, how long was the
July through November.
July through November.
The cancer was gone before my last round. But so I was like, can we please stop then? Can I like get off of treatment? And they were like, they didn't recommend it.
No.
And so once that, And I was done like right around Thanksgiving, so I was pigging out.
Oh, I
was
sure.
eating because I couldn't eat anything. The medicines made my stomach very sensitive. I couldn't even drink water without throwing up. Yeah. And so I was like this big. Gosh. It's very small. Yeah. And so I finished chemo, and I was given. They told me I could take a well needed break, so that my circulation should start flowing again. And then so with chemo, it gives you a 95% chance of it not coming back. But if you add radiation, it takes it to like 99 point something. So radiation is was an option, and I said no at first. I was like, because my body was I was
you're done.
Needed a break.
And but then talked to my parents. I was like, I really don't want this to come back. So I did the radiation. But radiation, you have to go every single day, and so for 2 weeks,
Martez.
It was just like, and those lasers, you can taste them. Like it's like a weird like radiation taste when they laser you, and like it's not painful at first, but like after you're done, wherever they laser, just wow. So wow, and then now I love talking about it now.
Yeah.
And I've been I think it's been 14 years I've been cancer free. I think
absolutely,
14 years.
Absolutely, yes, for sure, and. You know, on the subject of mental health, and me just knowing you personally, Martez, that was a big reason why I wanted to have you on to share that story, and I'm glad that you enjoy sharing that story because everybody's going through something, and for you to go through that, and then and then you mentioned that like dance was the only thing that was kind of keeping you afloat.
Oh yeah, and when I couldn't do it, that's when my mental health started to go down.
Wow,
because I had nothing. I was just like.
So can you talk a little bit about like what your mental period was like? Because you seem like okay. I have this cancer, but I got dance to lean on. So when dance wasn't there, like what was your mental like then?
I tried to take my own life. I knew that the medicine was like fucking up my immune system, and I knew that if I got sick, I can't take any meds, and my immune system was so weak that I could get really sick and be gone. So I stopped taking my immune system boosters because I knew that
it could.
I was like, but something sparked. Still to this day, something in me changed, like. And I just locked in for some reason.
Snap back. Was it anything dance related?
No. I don't know what it was. I was just like, I just felt like there was more to like I had to do in life. And
that's the spirit right there.
And then like after that, after the treatment was done, I remember auditioning for a certain company. I'm not gonna say the name.
Yes, please.
I'm not gonna say the name. Audition. I think for the I was still able to like audition for summer programs, and so I went, and for some reason, mentally, I remember like all the stuff I learned in dance. Physically, I did not.
Wow.
Like, physically, my body did not like. It was like simple,
couldn't remember like, Tondu or just.
And it was like, and like looking at it now, knowing like where I am with my training, I'm like, I can remember that. I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
And so the person that was doing the audition, he laughed at me. He laughed at me during the audition because it was like a ballet. What's that fast stuff?
Petit Allegro.
What's that fast?
Yeah, it was like a little combination.
I got you.
And I understood like mentally. I was like, oh yeah, I got it. I tried it, and I was like, my body just did not remember anything.
Wow.
And he laughed. And so I stopped dancing for like 2 years.
Because of that moment.
I was like, I'm done with that.
that.
I was like, nah. And then, what was it? I started watching, I forgot what I watched, but it just reignited the fire that I have for dancing. And so I started, I wasn't able to like go take classes and stuff at the time. So I started getting on YouTube, looking at gymnastics, like stretches and routines. And back in the day, they would like post a whole routine. So I would like every day watch one, do everything so I can regain my flexibility back, my strength. And then I went to take class at a studio back home, and a guy, he was like, "Are you still dancing?" I was like, "No, I haven't danced in like years." He was like, "Oh, I can't tell." He was like, would you love to be a part of my show? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And did that. And then he flew me out here to audition for a company.
For sure.
And then that's when I started dancing again.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think, that deserves
Yes.
like a...
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I hear so many parts about what we talked about, right? There's just layers upon layers of grief there.
Mm-hmm.
Layers. And again, we don't just grieve death. We grieve and the identity piece too, where it was like, you wanted to defer treatment. Like, yeah, I know I have cancer, but dance is more important. So that tells me how important that identity was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much of what we
so
reflected
much,
on.
and I feel like that definitely calls for like a part 2 at some point where we could we can dive a lot more on so many different other topics.
Oh yeah.
Guys,
thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
Truly.
before we went a little bit of overtime, but before we wrap up, there's another segment that I do with all my guests, and it's the Mount Rushmore of dancers. Natasha, you can chime in too if you know any dancers.
Okay, so I'm like,
I was about to say any dancers, Martez, but it's like, I'm pretty sure you've heard, like, it's just a popular segment amongst a lot of podcasts, and I kind of wanted I wanted to incorporate it in mine. So if you could choose your Mount Rushmore of dancers, people who inspire you, people who you admire, it could be peers, people who are, past, present, anybody who inspires you to keep going, to keep doing what you do, who would your Mount Rushmore be?
Chloe Grant-Abel.
Oh.
Indeed.
Who else?
Shout out to Chloe, man. That's
That's
why I got her.
my
That's why I got her as co-host. Like,
sister.
Chloe is an angel. Chloe was like, just to touch on Chloe for a little bit. She was my first guest for my first episode. The first person I felt like, guest wise, to believe in my vision.
Yes.
Like my first kind of like safe haven when I got to Cleo Parker Robinson. Like I like ballet is just my thing, and like Chloe was teaching ballet and could teach it well, and like was so gracious and so nice. I'm like, yeah. So I'm sorry, I just had to beat you up. I had to beat you up for a second because you co-hosting it, just because he put you on the Mount Rushmore. Like, you got to know how much like people do appreciate you.
And
for
I
real.
love that. Sometimes going just real quick, I'm gonna just throw this in here. We need to give each other our flowers while we're still here.
For sure.
Because I always
100%.
think like, what would you say at my funeral? Tell me now. Don't tell me when I can't. Don't tell me when I can't hear it. When I don't know.
Right.
Give me my
So
flowers now.
true.
So anyway, so thank you.
Indeed.
So
Absolutely,
true.
absolutely.
So Chloe,
Okay.
Yes.
Desmond Richardson, because he was someone that
Absolutely.
I really looked up to when I was growing up.
Shout out to Desmond. Complexions.
Yes.
Milton Myers,
Yes.
and Cleo, because
Yes.
Cleo
Shout out to
got
Cleo.
me. I started my real training at Cleo's.
Shout out to Cleo Parker Robinson.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll say those four.
Absolutely. Miss Natasha, even if they aren't dancers,
I have an answer.
I was about to say, even if they aren't dancers, like, do you have a Mount Rushmore of of people who inspire you or people who motivate you to just keep going?
Oh my gosh, of course.
Yes.
Well, I came up with a Mount Rushmore of
Okay.
dancers.
Okay. Yeah.
I met 4 dancers today. So based on this conversation, that's mine. Oh my gosh, if I expand to other athletes though.
Yeah.
Go for
Oh
it.
yeah, you talked about for sure.
B-ball, B-ball.
Please.
Yeah, I'm thinking Candace Parker played at the University of Tennessee, which is my favorite team.
For sure.
But oh my gosh, Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe.
Okay.
Look at our faces. We're like,
Sue Bird is basketball.
Yeah. I'm trying to like.
Megan Rapinoe is soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, who's another one that I've just been really
I love it.
enthralled with recently?
Yeah.
Enthralled.
Yes.
I like that word.
Can I throw a coach in there too?
Of course. Anybody that
That's
motivates
important,
you,
yeah.
inspires you to keep going.
Yeah, Pat Summitt. She was
Pat Summitt.
legendary Tennessee's head coach for 38 years.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did a bunch for Title IX and women's sports, and
Indeed.
she's why Tennessee has been my favorite my whole life.
For sure.
So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that would be.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much for pulling up to the movement mic and sharing your stories, sharing your expertise. Natasha, I'm so appreciative of you coming and again, just believing in my vision, believing in what I got going on.
Oh my gosh.
Everything you talked about has been very just like hard hitting, and I know for a fact that like if anybody is listening, that it will definitely affect some dancers out there for sure. Martez, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Your vulnerability.
Yes. All of it is much appreciated. I try to express with all my guests how appreciative I am, but I can never find like the right words to really describe how much it means to me, like to hear you say that, like, you know, I could talk about this forever, and to hear you laugh and talk about your story, it means a lot to me, because and it makes me feel like I'm doing exactly what I should be doing, as far as like cultivating a space where dancers and other people who have expertise like within the realm of the business, making them feel comfortable and making them feel welcome. Chloe, thank you for co-hosting with me and helping me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like I we spoke, like, you know, when we got to these more kind of like serious episodes of how like I didn't want to be just like how I kind of was before we got to shoot it, like just scatterbrained and just all over the place. And like you being here, like I said, like you have to know, like your presence it helps me out a lot. Like you give me a comfort level to like to just kind of flow, and I really appreciate that, guys.
Absolutely,
I appreciate all of you guys for showing up and just being part of the movement.
Yes.
And
thank you so much for having us. Truly.
Yeah, DJ, thank you for creating this platform, and mental health. I pray we have a part 2, because there's so much more to get into, because is so like this is the meat and potatoes. Like this is the real work.
Absolutely.
Like the plie is all good, but
it's the conversations. It's pushing the conversations forward. There's the same conversations that we have every day. That we have when we get off stage, that we have when we get out of rehearsal. I feel like these conversations need to be brought to the forefront. Everything we talked about is so relevant in today's community, like and especially in the dance community. And so, yeah, I definitely look forward to a part 2, for sure, for sure. I want to wrap up. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We got so much more coming. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Movement Mic. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on every platform. At all handles are at The Movement Mic. We got plenty more coming. This is your mic, your movement. Peace.